Hey, it's Sri here, and in today's video I'm going to talk you through 3 signs that you might be self-sabotaging in your marriage right now if you're on the verge of a divorce or going through a separation. Now I know that having to deal with that is extremely painful on so many levels, and so my heart goes out to you if you are going through this. I see it every single day in my work, and it breaks my heart when I see the sort of pain that some of my clients are going through at the present moment. So I want you to know that there is hope though. People like Angie and Laurie and Michelle and Sarah and all these incredible clients that I've had over the years have been able to create transformation that not just lasts for a short period of time, but for a long period of time. And I really want you to have that experience as well. So make sure you watch this entire video, take some notes if you need to, and then that way it's going to really be ingrained in your subconscious as well as you go through this healing process. And make sure you hit that subscribe button below and click on that bell notification as well, so every week you get access to my latest videos where I talk you through a little bit more about how to heal your marriage, how to heal yourself, and also understand more about male psychology as well when it comes to marriages. Now, self-sabotage is a really fascinating phenomenon. It's something that I've always found really interesting, not only in my line of work, but in life in general. Why is it that people, will tell you, look, I want X, but then they'll do everything they can to avoid that very thing that they want? Why is that? What is it that causes that to happen? I see it in my work all the time where people want to save their marriage or people want to grow, yet they don't do the things that they need to do. They don't put the work in that they need to put in. And they find ways to hold back from really attaining that very thing that they want. And it hurts my heart because I want people to heal, I want people to grow, and I really, in the core of myself, I know that transformation is a real thing. But I also understand and I empathize with the fact that when you're in the dumps, so to speak, and you're feeling really emotional and scared and fearful and so on, what happens is we often avoid the very thing that we should be doing in order to move forward. And think of it like this. You've, say, put on weight, and then suddenly you lose that weight, and then before you know it, you put that weight back on. You know how to lose the weight, you've done it before, but then we go back to old habits. We self-sabotage in that situation. Or where you think you need to do something and you should be doing it, you've got to do it, but you don't do it. So what I'm going to do now is I want to explain to you 3 ways in which people can self-sabotage in their marriages and how it holds them back from being able to make the sort of progress that they actually want. The first way in which I see people self-sabotage is through avoidance. You see, often people will know that they need to have a particular conversation with someone, or they know that they need to do the work, or they need to, maybe do some exercises of a particular program, or whatever it may be. They know they need to be doing those things. But what happens is they completely avoid the things that they should be doing, and they go and put their energy into everywhere else. They go and put energy into their kids. They go off and work. They might even just stay put and get emotional and let the emotion take over in that situation. Because here's the thing, in life, we will gravitate not towards what's best, but towards what's comfortable. Now, if you're someone that has had to deal with a lot of pain over your life, or even if you're dealing with pain right now, and it's something that you've had experiences of in the past, then it becomes familiar territory. And often when it's familiar territory, we don't want to embark on a journey or embark on a step or a process that's unfamiliar to us. So what happens is rather than going down the path of the unknown, let's stay with what we know, even if it's causing us pain. So therefore, we know we need to go and have that conversation. We know we need to go and, do the exercises that we need to do, or have discussions about someone, or maybe walk away from the situation, whatever it is. But what we do is prevent ourselves from feeling that unknown pain, that unfamiliar pain. So what we do is we just deal with what's present right now. And the easiest thing to do is just stay with what you're dealing with at the moment. So even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's painful, it's easier to just stay put with where you're at now. Now that really saddens me a lot. And it saddens me because what it does is it leads you to short-term relief for long-term pain. And when I say relief, what I mean is it gives you the relief of not having to embark on something that's challenging, so therefore we'll stay with what is right now. And obviously now is challenging as well, but it's a different kind of challenge. It's uncomfortable, it's painful, but it's not unfamiliar, whereas that is unfamiliar. That is, I don't know what that's like, I don't know what the consequences are, I'm so scared I could screw it up, so you know what, I'm not going to do it. And we come up with every excuse under the sun to prevent ourselves from doing the very thing that we should be doing. Now, in life, the right decision isn't always the easiest decision, and you've got to know that. Trust in that. And when you know it, if a decision comes from your heart, from your gut, and you just know that this is the right thing, you've got to follow through on that no matter what. Because in the long run, it's going to give you a lot of relief and a lot of peace, more importantly. So really take the time to step into courage, to step into the unknown, because it's a hell of a lot better than having to deal with the consequences of avoidance in the long run. And the second way in which we self-sabotage is a little bit of an extension from the first point, where what happens is we're dealing with current pain right now. We're familiar with that pain. And then what happens is things might start to improve. You might start to have good conversations with your husband. You might find that things are starting to improve a little bit. But if you've been dealing with pain for the large chunk of your life, and you might have this belief where you feel like nothing ever goes right, everything's always a problem in your life, then what happens is if things start to improve, because there's almost a certain sense of unfamiliarity to it all, that it feels a little bit strange, what happens? We will do things consciously or subconsciously to take us back to this place of pain. So if things start to improve, there's a part of us that kind of likes it, but also a part of us goes, this is a little bit odd. I'm not used to this. So what happens? We will subconsciously or consciously gravitate back towards pain. And whether that's we consciously take actions, or whether we manifest negative experiences, or we start to draw things into our life that, aren't things that we want, you get these different experiences. But here's the really interesting thing. When those sorts of behaviors occur, when those things start to happen in our lives, it aligns with our sense of identity, which is, I'm someone where nothing goes right, it always turns to shit, why does this always have to happen to me? And in our life, the strongest aspect of our mind is our identity. Who we believe we are dictates everything. So if we believe that we're a failure or we're not good enough or whatever, what will happen? Even if things start to improve, we'll find a way to get back there. So we need to break out of that. We've got to recognize and embrace a new identity. We've got to let go of that which is no longer for our highest good. And that's a prayer that you can also use. Dear God, I now release that which is no longer for my highest good, and I ask you to take care of it. Or something along those lines. Something that you can do immediately to start letting go of that part of you. Hope that makes sense. And the third way that we self-sabotage is often when we actually believe at a deeper level that we don't want to be with that person. Now I know this might be a hard thing to digest at the moment, because when your world is being shaken up and there's a potential for divorce or a separation or whatever it may be, the conscious mind is like, look, I want to keep it, I want to do everything I can. But if we find ourselves acting in ways that go against what we think we should probably be doing with a clear mind, then that can often be a sign that there's a deeper part of yourself that actually just doesn't want to be in the marriage, that doesn't want to move forward with it, that has concerns about whether this man is the right man for you and for your family at this moment in time. Now, I know that obviously that's a really, really tough thing to sit with, but I would encourage you to take some time to actually explore that. Once again, don't go into sign number one, which is avoidance, and just not deal with this particular question at this moment in time. You know, you've got to face up to some of these things, because having the courage to be able to do that, to confront that, will actually free you. And let's say you do, you know, look within and decide, okay, this is the man that I want, then all of your actions are going to start aligning with what you want rather than what you don't want. And that's also a really, really beneficial thing here. And I know this is a tough question to ask, and I'm sorry if it causes any pain on any level, but it's such an important question to ask. You've got to go deep at that level. And once we start going deeper at that level, then things can really start to shift. And I tell you right now that self-sabotage, that pattern, you want to scrap it as soon as possible. You want to get rid of it, because it is something that can run havoc in your life, and it's run havoc in my life over the years, and thankfully I've been able to, you know, heal a really, really large portion of it as well. And so it's really important that, you know, you also work through these things and heal and grow and transform, so that ultimately you get the life that reflects how you feel on the inside, which is that of abundance, love, joy, passion, all that good stuff. Now, I know going through this is often a little bit of a challenge, so if you are in a position where you're stuck and you're not sure how to move forward, and you feel like you've done everything and you're not quite getting the results that you're looking for, then if you want to try something a little bit different, then I'd love to be of service to you through my program, The Authentic Relationship System, which is an incredible program, one that, you know, has helped so many women around the world to be able to create major shifts from within, as well as within their marriages as well. So I really, really want you to, you know, take the time today, if it feels right. In the description section below, just click on that link which just says book a call with me. Just click on that link, choose a time that works for you, and then I'll contact you at that scheduled time and can sort of explain to you a little bit more about how the process works, and I can learn a little bit more about where you are now, where you want to get to, and how we can bridge that gap through the program. And ultimately, we just want to determine if this is the right fit for you. If it is, great. If it isn't, that's totally cool as well. At least I'll make sure I give you a couple of pointers on how to move forward as well. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you've liked it, make sure you hit that like button below. If you want to get more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. And do let me know what your biggest takeaway is from this video as well. I always love hearing the comments and the questions, so make sure you write them below. Don't be shy. You know, make sure you take the time to go through and write your comments, and I'll respond to every single one of you as well. If you want to learn whether no contact is the right strategy for you at the moment in your marriage, click this video above. And if you want to learn how to save your marriage on the brink of divorce, click this video above. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video.